Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Temur Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game one. This hand's interesting. What makes it better is the question. Specifically, a forest? Yeah, because Cavern Souls, Forest, Talisman, Sprawl. 9 hits. I'd be okay if a temple as well. So 13, screw it. We'll keep reveal. We'll pitch Karn. That way, worst comes to worst, we would Jukabog. Opponent's passing, draw, rumble. The Jukabog, target you, and pass. We did whiff, unfortunately. Fetch, Flooded Strands, Surveil Trigger. Is it Murktide? It's potentially Blink. Blink has definitely been back on the rise. I don't know what happened where Blink suddenly saw a massive uptick. White Orchid Phantom, well that's bunk. Yes. Actually, it's not necessarily a bad thing, funny enough. Forest. Draw. World Break. Talisman. Sprawl. Red. And pass. And pass. Worst case scenario here is a Flicker Wisp. Kaya. Well, that's not much better. So I still need a land. Down to 17. Draw. Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground Shock. Chrysalis. We have a blocker now and a way to attack down Kaya as well. Flooded Strand. 4 cards in hand. Fetch down to 16. Could be a Witch Enchanter. In response, trigger, always yield. They don't have Ketra in hand, otherwise they probably would have played Ketra and then attempted that. 3 or not. 2 Overlord of the Bailmerk, trigger. There's Felia, there's Solitude, they take Solitude. I feel like they have Felia. Evoke trigger. Ephem. Yeah, that will resolve. Though you probably should have waited, or at least done it in the opposite order. Because now just gain more life. I do think I want to cycle the K command. So right now I can't even cast it is the problem. And done. One card in hand right now, Windswept Teeth. And pass. Down to 17. Trigger. And draw. Of course, we draw into the E-Temp now. Rumble. I mean, I could go Sowing Mycospawn and then... Actually, I guess I don't need to play the E-Temp. The only downside is we lose a forest here. And I'll go Sowing Myco. Windswept Teeth. Fetch for a non-basic. Breeding Pool Shock. Trigger. Commercial District. Rumble Top. And pass. Rebound the EFM. Do you exile the Soin Microspawn or do you flicker? Okay, perfect. So we'll be able to get rid of the Overlord of the Bailmerk at least. Combat. Two down to 15. Kaya hits Breaker, Microspawn, they'll gain some life. 2, 3, 4, Witch Enchanter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will need to play the 10th then. I was thinking that we were going to play the Rumble then, but that's not happening. E-Temp. Go after Bailmerk. So Bailmerk down. We have a blocker now. One card in hand. We do need to attack down Kaya at some point. It will get out of control real quick if we don't. They'll grab K command and probably Rumble. Either that or the Talisman. They hit the K command and Rumble. 2 types in Yard. We can bump it up to 3. No attacks. Draw. Combat. At Kaya. Orcish Bowmaster. Ping me. Down to 14. Jump block. Malevolent Rumble. One, two, three, four, five, 6. Damn. I will grab the Cyrus 7 Deaths. I do want to set up the sweep. Well, I guess we won't because of the K return. We'll get eaten by Kaya. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, damn. That is unfortunate. Four types in Yard. Again, though, we do need to be mindful of Kaya, just because they will be able to ult Kaya soon. Okay, return Cavern down. Why take Cavern, not Talisman or Rumble? Weird. Emperor Bones, I guess maybe that's why. Can grab an Overlord. Yep, and then adapt. Yep. Not much to do there. This Kaya's put in a lot of work. Finds Felia or White Orchid. Chooses Felia. Why attack with Solitude? Overloaded Bailmerk trigger. Finds the White Orchid. Go to blocks. Block and block. B4 damage. Sack trigger. And end step. Guess maybe they want the Solitude in yard? That's weird to me. Karn I don't think is doing enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I could go EEX2. That would require 8 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's appealing. So, trigger 1. Trigger 2. Karn the Great Creator. Minus Karn. For Engineered Explosives. Done. Crack EE. Go to combat. Swing out at Kaya. Kaya down. And pass. You know they have Felia. You know they have White Orchid Phantom. Swing at Karn. This does mean if they do White Orchid, the E-Temp means we can't cast Sire next turn unless we draw into a land. Only downside there. They want the Felia instead. Combat. Attack all. Block. 16. Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. I don't know why. But a Aven Interrupter. I don't think it counters, it exiles, right? And plots it. I forget though how it works. There's Felia. Yeah, the White Orchid in hand. I mean, I'm doubting that they're going to attempt to attack in and blink the Sire. That would just be suicide, yeah. Solid. Went against Blink in game 1. Yeah, the card in the EE. That worked out. I do think they should probably play the White Orchid Phantom, though, instead of the Bowmaster. Alright. We'll cut Karn. We didn't see any sign of Ketra. Cut Emrakul. Cut Bajuka Bog. Cut Chrysalis. And run it back. It's possible that we might want to put Dismember back into the side and bring back a couple Chrysalis, depending. Another E-Temp wouldn't be bad. Utopia Sprawl would be good. We'll keep. 7 hits. I'll take a Malevolent Rumble as well. Fetch Flooded Strand for Godless Shrine Shock for not Dismember. Thoughtseize, yeah. Takes the K command, I'd imagine. I'd be surprised if not. Yeah, now this hand's not doing too much until turn 3. Yep. I mean, I think almost every time K Command's always the right choice. World Break. Play the Forest and pass. No reason to play the E-Temp. And pass. Plays Plains. And passes. Draw. Oofda. Pass. Here comes Felia. Yep. Question of the day is, do they have an Overlord of the Belmerk to follow up? They do. I'd imagine that's their best turn 2, turn 3 play, right? Whiffs on the first. Flicker. Yeah, if only I had a blue source, this consign would have been perfect. Clarion Conqueror or Felia. Imagine Conqueror. And draw. There's K Command. Okay. That is looking interesting to me. I'm going to pass. Fetch. Meticulous Archive. Combat. I will exile the Felia. And done. Consign to memory? Yes. Yeah. I guess I should have responded to the Flooded Strand. In retrospect, Emperor Bones. I forget if we actually saw blue sources last game, so I wasn't expecting the archive. There's the Conqueror. Sprawl's a bit late to the party. I don't want to grab a forest. Oh, I think I'm dead regardless, aren't I? Yeah, because they'll just blink this way and Mike spawn 811. Never mind. I will actually. Breeding Pool Shock. Not dead yet. I'm almost dead, but not dead yet. Excuse me again. Triggers. Felia, target, Soin Mycospawn. Is Felia targeting Felia or Felia not targeting anything? Interesting. What's in yard right now? Nothing really of importance. Can grab Felia or Clarion Conqueror. Why would they not attempt to blink the Mycospawn? Weird. Oh, that's still 8. What am I doing? I guess I have to block Overlord, right? 2. Thalia trigger, target nothing. Yeah, we don't have anything. Okay, we'll concede. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I see a blue source last game? We definitely saw like the marsh flats, but I don't think we saw a blue source. That's why I don't think I was thinking about the archive when they fetched. I guess maybe I should have paid more attention because I could have responded still to the surveil trigger and XL the Thalia then. Yeah, so that's on me. I should have been a bit more attentive. Probably could have avoided the consign at least, got rid of the Thalia. I'm not sure if it would have mattered too much with the Clarion Conqueror on board, but we would have at least had more options available to us. I mean, we have 8 hits off the top. Fine, we'll keep. Down to 5. I think I go blue with Utopia Sprawl. Wooded Foothills, Fetch, Forest. As much as I do want a K return. Yeah, it's a bit awkward, but I think we go blue. I mean, access to the consign is pretty good. Swamp Thoughtseize hits consign. There's an argument that the Null Drifter, though, I think. Like I said, I have 8 hits off the top for sowing Mycospawn on 2. And even if I just had a land, I have a Evoke. Interesting, takes a Mycospawn. Okay. Draw. Misty Rain, fetch. I'm gonna grab a Stomping Grounds and Shock, and then Null Drifter. Draw 2. They can't White Orchid Phantom. I was really hoping to see a land there, though. It's the only problem. Lure the Bailmerk trigger. Whiffs. Actually, no, grabs the Ashiok. Interesting. Trigger. And draw. Sprawls, mana neutral. The problem I have with Sprawl onto Forest is that kind of putting our eggs in one basket. We'll hold the consign. Next problem is that I can't search if they play the Ashiok. Which is annoying. Clarion Conqueror. Yes, that resolves. Trigger. Draw. Of course I draw into the lab now. Sowing Mycospawn. Cast. The thing is, I really want to go for an E-Temp here, but I think it might be correct to not, is the problem. We know about Ashiok in hand, we don't know about anything else. Like, a Flickerus would absolutely decimate me is the problem. I'm gonna go Breeding Pool Shock. Lab trigger. No imprint, and pass, and hold. Ashiok. There's the Ashiok. Spells and abilities, yep. Begin combat, 3 down to 11. Will of a Balamurk trigger, draw, E-temp. Go to combat. Attack at Ashiok. Two. In response. So I want to make sure I have blue up. And done. Interesting. Top. Bottom. Top. Top. And top. And hold. And I guess I was a little bit incorrect just because now Ashiok will mill me. Yeah. Activated ability, can't do anything about that. In retrospect, probably should have just made spawns. I don't know. That one's a bit awkward. Wayscape Battle Mage would have been nice. Flicker Wisp, ETB targets. They target my forest, then we consign. Bog, tapped. One card left in hand. Draw. That is interesting to me. I'm going to K return here. I want that Ashiok dead. Combat, Ashiok. Ashiok down. Hold the consign. Just all blew up for consign. They don't know about the second one. 4, Witch Enchanter, ETB trigger. Consign memory. Trigger. Draw. Casting 5, 6, 7. Hold up Dismember just in case that they have an EFEM. I guess EFEM wouldn't do anything in retrospect. Sweet. Hold up Dismember. And Fanic and Sign, right? And pass. Draw. Combat. Annihilator trigger. Sacks a Bog. Green. Oh, I want green-red. And Bone scoops it up. Because, yeah, we'll go Chrysalis, then kick Mycospawn. And Bone scoops it up. We got there. Alright. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, and we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I will keep. The only thing that makes this hand better would be a lab off top. Draw. Sprawl. Unfortunately, a dead card. Pass. And pass. DU has an Ajani. No, an Ocelot Pride. That's fine. Fetch Windswept Teeth, another Ocelot Pride, Sacred Foundry Shock, and another Ocelot Pride. Okay. So yeah, we definitely want to get to K return ASAP, but we do want to get rid of this Guide of Souls. And draw, rumble, temp, and hold. And Johnny Nakadal Pariah. I'm a bit worried about them flipping that, I'm not gonna lie. I'm debating just exile my Guide of Souls here. Yeah, I think that is right. Thing is that Johnny ETBs, I can't actually interact with it all too well. Got Souls down. That resolves. I'll take the 4. Down to 15. And step triggers. I am just really worried about a Galvanic Discharge here to flip the Johnny. And draw. I'm gonna sweep the board. So they did have it. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I'll flip the Johnny at least. Yep. So Johnny flips. Board gets swept. I mean, to be fair, I could have probably telegraphed that a little less by tapping the temples rather than the spawn, sacking the spawns, but... Yeesh. Zero cards in hand. Down to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's not even count that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we'll go Ephemeral. 6, 10, 12. We need a land off top. Fetch Flood Strand. Ugin Parlor. Puts a Flood Strand into yard. Alright, what's on the top? We're not dead yet. And most will take 2, 4, 6. So 12 down to 6. A Johnny trigger. Targets. Targets spawn. I mean, that's 2 damage mitigated. I'm fine with this. I was expecting to sack the cat warrior token before end step. Land. There's the land. Alright, partner. It's our turn. I'm really tempted to try and go after Sire 7 Deaths and draw a land off top. I mean, worst comes to worst, we play Chrysalis or we evoke the Null Drift. It's tempting, not gonna lie. I'll say no, though. Alright, to sweep or not to sweep? That's the question. Because I guess in this case, if they don't sweep, then we can Null Drifter next turn. Because what they should do is sack both, put me down to 8. Yep. No. So this way we can sweep next turn. Paying cost at instant speed for what? Galvanic Discharge, targeted Johnny. Yep, that makes sense. Our turn. Marsh Flats. Main. Play the Marsh Flats. Let's take a peek at your deck, shall we? There's an Elegant Parlor. I can stack the top. That way I have fewer options. I think you're not dead yet. Elegant Parlor, trigger. Because I could have put you down to 16, down to 15, down to 14. Trigger. Well, that's funny. Put it into grave. So what we can do then is 0 Johnny. Trigger target self. We can cast Flage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Flage ETB. Target a Johnny. A Johnny down. Goblin bombardment, target self, sack the cat. This does mean that they'll be able to replay the Flage, which will be a bit annoying, admittedly. And pass. So they can replay the Flage. They do not, though. They draw 2. Interesting. There's a Ragavan. I mean, we're sweeping, friend. They don't know that, though, to be fair. And draw. Talisman. Cast. Actually, pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can sweep and Bajuka Bog, right? So 3 evoke. 2, 3. That will leave 4. Draw 2. Synced Mavugan trigger. Yes. For sowing Mycospawn. Yes. ETB trigger. Misty Rainforest fetch. Down to 16. I'll grab a forest. Bajuka Bog, target you. And Bone scoops it up. Alright, we got there. Clean win. Alright, not bad at all. We'll cut Karn. We'll cut Ghost Quarter. Bring in Trinisphere and EE. And pass. Pass. Submit. Can you tell I'm recording late at night? If you pay attention, there are subtle signs. My partner and I worked late tonight, so late dinner, late recording. But we're here. We're playing some Magic, having a good time. And the deck continues to feel really good. I think there are times where I could take or leave Karn. There are times where Karn is just phenomenal. I mean, that Blink game was a great example where just being able to go Karn to EE solidified the match in our favor against Blink. I mean, even there, Karn would have been fine. We would have been able to Karn into a Tormod's Crypt, right? Oh, so that's one of the reasons why I love Null Drifter. Those Null Drifter shenanigans, being able to evoke, trigger to Sanctum, grab the Mycospawn for Bajuka Bog. Like, those are just some really complex lines that, A, I don't think a lot of people would notice, but B, that Null Drifter just inherently opens up. Oh, this hand's god-awful. I will mulligan. What makes this hand good? Lab. Lab would make it good. Sprawl. Okay, 8 hits. Temple, 12. I'll keep it. What do we want to pitch though? Bog or an Emrakul? I think an Emrakul. Done. And pass. Go Windswept Heath Commercial District would be my thought. Slow start by opponent, so that's good news for us. Unless we draw into a sprawl, in which case we'll forest, draw. Okay. Forest, for red, and pass. And pass. I'd still love to see a soul land off top, so 8 hits. Arena of Glory. A Johnny? Bombardment. So they're setting up for a Johnny. Draw, Talisman, Windswept Teeth, and pass. Six in hand. Sacred Foundry Shock to 18. Hasting. What? What this? Pyro. Interesting. Pyro resolves. Pitching. I have the Jugabog for Flage, but why would I do Arena of Glory then? Weird. Pitches an Ocelot Pride. Really? Huh. Do I want a K return? I don't know. Do I want to? I don't think I do. I think I just take the 2. That was weird. Yeah, we'll take the 2. Round 18. Fetch Windswept Teeth for Commercial District. Really want a soul land. That's really aggressive by opponent. Not sure I agree with it. Trigger, Stomping Ground. Yeah, I'll put it on top. It's not what I want to see, but I think it is what I need to keep. Draw. Shock. Talisman. And hold the K return. And we'll take the 3. We'll be at a theoretical 9. No, theoretical 10. Yep, down to 12. Fetch Arid Mesa. Flage. Molten Rain. Well, that's just rude. Down to 10, a theoretical 8. Yeah, I need to sweep at some point, right? At some point now, though? I don't know. EE. EE does put us in a position to sweep. Yeah, I'll sweep now. Down to 10. Yep. And we'll Bajukabog to get rid of the Pyro in yard. Yeah, that Molten Rain really hurt because I was trying to angle towards Ugin next turn. Of course, we whiffed on the land anyways, but if we draw into a land now, that would have been really nice. Pride. Passing. We could EE for 1. Sire. For 1. And hold. Windswept Teeth fetch. Elegant Parlor. combat. EE, pass. Pride down. Down to 9. 3 in hand. Second main. End step. Draw. Chrysalis. Chrysalis is good. Pushes us up to 6. So we're 1 away from Ugin, 1 away from Sire. If we really need, we can always cycle the K command. Casting Molten Rain. Down to 7. We have a K command X2, so that's good. Sowing Myco Spawn. And I think we can K command X3 instead. I think that's probably better in the grand scheme. Attack. Down to 14. Holding K command X3. What you got? Is it a Flage? Fable the Mirror Breaker. Fable resolves. Go to end step. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. K command X equals 3. And done. I need a land. There's a land. Bottom the Trinosphere, bottom the Talisman, top the land and draw. Do you ping a spawn? I mean, I think it's a valid choice if they were to do so. Paying cost. Thraben Tremyard? Yeah, that's fine. They're worried about an Emrakul, which also fair. One card in hand, then. There's E-Temp. Thinking. E-Temp. So that would be 6. No, we'd be 1 short. So trigger 1. Trigger 2. I think I get rid of the Goblin Bombardment. Trigger 3. At the same time, the Fable. Maybe the Fable would be right in case they have a Flage. Oh, you son of a... Yep. One of the few... I guess... So... Yeah, that's one of the few times where that bites me. A, I wasn't expecting an Orange Chant. B, I suppose I could have played that a bit differently. We are already at X5, so a discharge would not have gotten my Chrysalis, even with the Goblin Bombardment. Yeah. So it would have been right for me to just... It would have been right for me to just cast Ugin with the triggers on the stack. I guess that's a good example of being a bit too set in my ways, right? And be like, well, this is how I just do it. And you always resolve the triggers because you want to make sure that they can't interact in a meaningful way. But in retrospect, if we had simply cast Ugin, then there would have been Ugin on board. 3, 4, 5. I will go Ugin Lab. Imprint Sire. And I'll attack with Chrysalis. Because they don't block. And I have lethal on board next turn. So it comes down to their top deck. Yeah. Damn. Hold. Fable trigger, flip. At a theoretical 4. I'm at 2 for all intent and purpose, unless you go for Chrysalis. Okay, that's fine. Which means he can't attack. Draw. Another Sire. Yeah, that orange chant was brutal. I think we go after Bombardment. And Bone scoops it up. Yeah, so that was a good example with that orange chant of I should have evaluated the potential for them to interact in a meaningful way rather than just being stuck in that pattern of you always allow the triggers to resolve first. Because no matter what, if they just had one card in hand with one creature on board and Bombardment, 0 energy, there's no possible way for them to interact with the Chrysalis in a meaningful way. So I should have just cast Ugin with the triggers on the stack, and then gone from there. But, well, it worked out, thankfully. That said, we'll be back for match number 3. Alright, and we're back for match 3. On the draw for game 1. This hand is fantastic. I'm keeping. Thoughtseize would be pretty rough, but otherwise this feels great. Because then we have the choice between Chrysalis or K-Command, depending on whether or not we want to exile a card, or if we need to play this with permission. Otherwise, we're going into Mycospawn the turn after. Either one of those two. Plains. Aether Vial. Is this humans? I guess it also could be Blink. Yeah, it could be Blink. Red. Pass. Oh. It could be Ketralus Blink. The Aether Vial version I feel like hasn't been played as much, though. Double white. Could have been a white Orchid. Draw. I feel like that's a Felia, though. It's been an Imprint Breaker. And hold the K command. Show me the Felia. Giver of Ruins. Huh. Huh. I'm tempted to K return. Yeah, it's fine. Aether Vial trigger. Giver of Ruins Aether Vial. What am I playing against? Huh. Aether Vial Giver Ruins. Well, I can bait the Giver Ruins. Which Blessed Meadow? Bolt. Tapped. 2 in hand. Well, I guess I can just get rid of the Giver Ruins then. End step. Cast. Exile Giver Ruins? I'm afraid of what you're trying to protect. Aether Vial. White Orchid Phantom. Yeah, that sucks, but fine. 1 card in hand. You still have K returns, so that's okay. Draw. Talisman. Tempted the Writhing Chrysalis. So how do I want to do this? One, 3, 4, 1, 2. Talisman. Writhing Chrysalis. So next turn we have the Sowing Myco spawn. Right now I don't care about K returning the White Orchid Phantom because I have no non-basics on board. A Flickerist would kind of suck because then they could flicker another Aether Vial. That's fine. Sneaky Reach? No Sneaky Reach. Another Chrysalis. Go to combat. Down to 18. See, I'm thinking about kicking the Myco. Oh, okay. Trigger 1. Always yield. Trigger 2. Get rid of the man land, because that way if they have Flicker Wisp, they can't get it back. Or rather, they can't flicker it onto the field. 2. Remand? What the fresh what? When this creature enters, return up to 1 target non-land permanent you control to its owner's hand. Okay. Sure, that's fine. So they just draw a card? No, they... Oh, they blow up their... Oh. Yeah, that's fine. That's value. Fair. Confused, but fair. Do I just play the E-Temp? Yeah, I guess so. I feel like holding that would have been better until after Oh, after I searched. Very weird. 1 and 3. Huh. Volatile Fault. So you're gonna hit that. I will search. Forest. Attack. For 4. Draw. Windswept Teeth. I'm thinking I go Chrysalis. Go to combat. Aether Vial. 2, 3. So, like, land destruction-esque? No attacks. End step. Fetch. Stomping Ground Shock. Trigger 1. Trigger 2. Always yield. Okay, return. Lethal on board. Oh, and scoops it up. Yeah, this feels like land destruction-esque, but I'm not entirely certain. Regardless, I'm wondering if we cut the card like, yeah, they have the Aether Vials. I think we just kind of go the normal Blink package. Cut the Bog, keep the Ghost Quarter. I'm not sure about Emrakul or not. Run it back like this? I'm not sure that Dismember is necessary. Let's keep the 2 Chrysalis and board in the 3rd one when we go to game 3, if we go to game 3. And the only thing I can think of is like it's mono white land destruction. But we can just hold up consigns, use Wastegate Battle Mage. We go Stomping Grounds tapped, Cavernous Souls in the Rumble. We have K returns, pretty interactive. We'll keep it. Not my favorite hand in the world, but it is keepable. If we draw into a fetch, we'll probably play that first so I can hold up a consign. Otherwise, we'll play Stomping Grounds tapped. I think even if we draw into a 7-minute value spell, there's no reason for me to play the Temple. Plains, Vial, 4 in hand, Gemstone, your turn late, friend. Actually, I probably should play the Gemstone, and maybe. Guys, you want to play the Rumble next turn, if nothing else. Ghost Quarter. Draw. Forest. Honestly, kind of not happy to see that. Play Forest. Rumble. I think I go E-Temp. As much as I want to go Ugin and tuck it, tucking it just basically ensures that it will get eaten by this Ghost Quarter. Thankfully I didn't hit any more Forest. Aether Vial. to 2, 5 in hand. Another ghost card. Okay, so it is definitely like mono white land destruction. Emrakul. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think we just play the temp. I mean, we're clearly going to eat the ghost quarter, but that's fine. Really? Up to 3. Figure that they'd want to do it on my turn. Fault. Do they have a way to recur these lands from Yard? Or they just have such a critical mass that it doesn't matter? End step. I'm a little bit worried about sacking the spawn, I'm not gonna lie. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I think we just keep it as is in case this doesn't resolve. Breeding Pool, Rumble. Breeding Pool is nice. Rumble is nice as well. Yeah, we'll go top and top. Draw the Breeding Pool. That way we can hold up the consign. Fault. Yep, I will search. Forest. 6, 12, 13. I mean, I guess you could Ghost Quarter, Ghost Quarter. It would set me back 1. But it'd also set you back 2. Interesting. Wanted to double check and see if the file said creature or not. It does say creature. Upkeep. Myco. Rude. Float red. Yes. Float green. No. Phase change. Aether Vial for 3. See, I'm tempted to swing Mycospawn kick the plains. And I think I do. Cavernous Souls, kick Mycospawn. Kick plains. Kinda wish you were back in the deck. I mean, there's no reason not to go E-Temp here. Let's go E-Temp and hold. So 6, 10, 11, 12. Aether Vial for 4. Trying to think of what they'd have for 4. The main thing that comes to mind is the Witch Enchanter. So yeah, 10, 11, 12. Unless we draw into a 7-mana value spell for Ugin Lab for 4. Sarah Paragon. I see. Target. Float 2. No. I understand now. Draw. I mean, there's no reason for me to play the Breeding Pool or Cavern of Souls. Let's go Ugin Lab. No imprint. No attacks. Kind of stuck in a little bit of a awkward situation. Yeah, I wonder if I should have played the Emrakul. No, he would have been one short. That's right, because they double ghost quartered me. Right. 5. What do they have for 5 mana? Oh, that's fascinating. Here's the ghost quarter. Attack. Down to 17. Draw. Do you ghost quarter on my draw step? Not sure why you would specifically do it on my draw step. That one fascinates me a bit. Ghost quarter, target a forest. Float a forest in response. Like, you already know I'm out of basics. Other consign. I mean, there's no reason for me to play the Breeding Pool, like I said, so I think well, okay, that's not entirely true. Breeding Pool, shock. Go to combat. Down to 21. Aether Vial ETB. Solitude. In response. And this is why we have the consign. I'd like that body still on board, please. So you can fault. I mean, they'll attack for 6, down to 9. We'll have to leave back Soin Megaspawn as a blocker next turn. They have 5 cards in hand. The question is, can they cast any of them? So I think I need to take a visit to my upstairs neighbor. Targeting, yeah, I mean, that was expected. Is this one any different? No, it's still basic. Rip. We'll pass and fold, take the 6 down to 9. And draw. Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Cast Sowing Mycospawn. Well, let's make it uncounterable just to make sure. We'll go for another E-temp. And attack. pass. So next turn we have the Emrakul. Unless they have a way to interact with the E-Temp. Of course they do. Yeah. Go to attack, swing at the Paragon, down to 6. Paying cost for Giver Ruins, okay. Draw. K return. Problem is, Giver Ruins can... Okay, well, so this will be interesting. 6, 10, 11... Yeah, if I thought about going for a red source, but they probably would have just ghost courted it anyways. So let's see if they figure this out correctly. If they give Solitude protection from colorless or protection from green. Let's see if the Devoid trips them up. Aether Vial trigger. Ghost Quarter. Oh, no, not another Ghost Quarter. Sarah Paragon. Right. So yeah, it is mono white land destruction. The combat. Colorless. Okay. So they did get it. Yep, you got it. Wild. All right. So loss for game 2. I still think Wayscape Battle Mage is correct. I think Dismember is correct then. I think we can cut the Gemstone and bring in a Bojuka Bog. Because Bojuka Bogging their lands in Grave would be good. I'm not sure about the Consign, though. Like, yeah, there's the White Orchid Phantom. But I think maybe having the 3 Chrysalis is better. And run it back like this. Okay. Yeah, this seems right. Yeah, Sarah Paragon definitely needs to go of its board. No if, ands, or buts there. On the play for game 3. I will keep. We'll start with the E-Temp, in case we draw into another E-Temp for the K-Command X2. The only problem is we do have to worry about Ghost Quarter. Maybe we actually do go Lab. Yeah, in retrospect, I think Lab is better because we can always regenerate value since we have a second Lab. We'll hold. Plains, Aether Vial, passing, draw, Rumble. Rumble's tempting here because we could go into a Myco. I think we go Temple and pass. Aether Vial trigger 1. Draw. Main. Plains. White Orchid Phantom. Aether Vial. Okay. Pause on end step. K command X equals 2. Wastegate Battlemage Dismember. Yes. So I'm thinking top and draw. And draw. Wastegate Battlemage. Fetch, Windswept Teeth. You do want non-basics, so we're going to go Breeding Pool. Or do we want Stomping Ground? I'm going to say Stomping Ground, Shock, and then kick the Wastegate. Exile the Aether Vial with a token already on it, or rather a counter already on it. Do you have a Giver of Ruins? I feel like you would have just played it with the planes. Alright, we'll hold. Wastegate Battlemage again, coming in clutch. Another Aether Vial. If they had the White Orchid, I feel like they would have played that earlier. This member will be good for the Sarah Paragon if and when they get to that point. Paying cost. White Orchid Phantom ETB. Targets. In response, I'll return. And yes. Forest. If we draw into a summon a value spell, getting Ugin on board would be huge. Draw. Damn. In that case... Tempted a Sanctum of Ugin, and then search at the same time. I'm gonna go Rumble this way. That way draw, if we find a Chrysalis, we can still cast it. So we might go. I will go E-Temp and hold of this member. No point in attacking. Either Vile trigger. Again, our goal here is to get Ugin on board. If we can get Ugin on board, I'm pretty sure we just win on the spot. I do not foresee them having an adequate way of dealing with Ugin. There's the Ghost Quarter. I will float. I guess I should have float Eldrazi because this comes into play untapped rather. I'll take 2. Thing is, they know about Ugin in hand. Sun Pearl Kirin. ETB. Target. In response. This way, we're guaranteed to play Ugin. Draw. Sanctum. Trigger, exile, unpearl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna say yes. 7, 11, 12. I will go for World Break or Sire. I'm thinking World Break. Plus and draw. Chrysalis. Go to combat. 5. If they had a White Orchid Phantom, they would have put that in on upkeep or draw anyways. So now even if you destroy my lands, we're going to be able to generate 3 mana with Oog in a turn. So hit the temple if you want. That is not all too much of a concern. I'll say no. Still have access to 7, 8. Four, 8. Sorry. 4, 8, 10, 13. Triggers, no targets. Our turn, comrade. Attack in for another 5. Down to 10. Do you have a Solitude? I mean, you would be empty-handed at that point. Yep, that is fine by me. Aether Vial trigger. I'll say yeah. Draw. Solitude. Main. Sack the treasure. And pass. And pass. So I can take it up to 5. Two cards in hand. White Orchid Phantom hits the World Break. I will not. And draw. So a Myco Spawn. E-Temp. Plus another Myco Spawn, Lab, no Imprint, Combat, another 5, unless you bring in the Solitude, Aether Vial, last card in hand, Exile Myco. Do we block the Wayscape? You do. Okay. I mean, we have the ult next turn, so short of a Aven Interrupter, we win. Paying cost. Can't search their libraries unless I pay 2. Draw. Cavernous Souls. Name Eldrazi. So I pay 2. I ignore that effect. I search my library. Alright. And Bone scoops it up. I imagine that was a last-ditch effort to maybe see if I would miss that. We got there. Mono white land destruction. Honestly, that was kind of miserable to play against, but we got there. We'll be back for match 4. 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. We will keep looking for a soul land off top. Marsh Flats, pass, draw. Lab would be nice. Nope. Emrakul. And red. Fetch Marsh Flats. Elegant Parlor. Looking like energy. We'll go red and pass. So would love a soul land, K return off top. All would be good. Static Prison, that's fine. Means that they're not doing much. Myco Spawn, Misty Rainforest, Fetch. Shock Stomp. Talisman and pass. We really would like a land off top. And again, we would love to see a soul land specifically. Surveil trigger. Puts Ocelot Pride into yard. Static Prison trigger. I'd love to just get to 4 so I can Bajuka Bog this Flage. 2, Voice of Victory. Static Prison. Okay, I really could use a soul land here. There it is. So I can go a few directions here. I will imprint Emrakul. I will cast Sowing Myco Spawn. As much as I would love to grab a soul land, I'm gonna go Bajuka Bog or Flage. They played a really passive game so far, so I feel comfortable just going this route and then setting up for the K command X equals 3 next turn. Discharge, yep. Sacred Foundry, tap, 2 in hand. We'll get it for 3. And draw. Malevolent Rumble. Set up Rumble first. There's Sowing Myco Spawn. There's Karn. I do think I go E-Temp, though. And K command X equals 3. And done. And pass. And hold. Alright, to give me back a Talisman or a Sprawl. Okay, next turn we have Ugin, we have Sire. I'll probably play Sire first in case they somehow have a 3rd Static Prison. And Bone Scoop Step. Alright. Solvent against energy. We will cut Karn. We'll bring in Trinisphere and EE. Cut Ghost Quarter and run it back. I will say still, the Voice of Victory and the Clarion Conqueror does make me question whether or not we should be bringing in Dismember instead of Trinisphere. They are just sometimes really difficult cards to deal with in a productive way. So it might be right to do so, because the deck previously didn't have any X3s to speak of. So maybe we do cut like either 2 Trinispheres or an Emrakul and a Chrysalis. That's an interesting hand. I'll keep it. 9 hits off the top for green sources. Another 4 for K command. Draw. That's not what I wanted. Pass. And pass. Again, we would like K command or green source with 13 hits. Ocelot Pride trigger. Land drop. And attack. down to 19, up to 22, 2 energy, draw, K return. I'll play the E-temp and pass. We'll threaten the K command, fetch, surveil, surveil trigger, and looking for a fetch at this point. So 4 hits off the top, I guess 5 if you include the Stomping Grounds itself. Otherwise, again, we have the equivalent of 9, 13 hits, down to 16, up to 22, land, Molten Rain, Blood Moon. That's really funny. Pass. Draw. Yeah, I mean, I would love... It now makes it a bit more complicated for these rumbles. I really wish I would have found that Wooded Foothills earlier, but that is really funny to me. We're going to pass, see if they play anything on their main phase. So I now need to find either Talismans or Forests, so 7 hits off top. Bombardment, no. K command, or K return. Thank you. You helped. I mean, the Wooded Foothills would have got me there anyways, but still. Draw. Wooded Foothills. Pass. And now we're in a bit of trouble. Like I said, I have 7 hits off the top between Talismans and Forest. I have another 2 K returns, which would be fine. Float. I take an EE as well. EE for 1, right? Land 2 and Pyro. I honestly would kind of love a Talisman of Curiosity. Draw. Mega Spawn. Pass. Yeah. Drawing that Wooded Foothills a turn late, it was rough. Like, the Blood Moon was funny because it allowed us to cast the K return, but us drawing into the Wooded Foothills, it allowed me to do so anyways. But Johnny, ooh. Yeah, that's a problem. We're gonna go down to 12, down to 7. I think I'm dead, actually. Yeah, I think I'm straight up dead, because that's gonna be 5, 7, 11... 11 down to 5. A Johnny flip for... Yeah, you got it. That Blood Moon did actually do something for a change. Sometimes it does nothing, but in that case, it did do something. They're bringing in Blood Moon. I feel like they're not bringing in Clarion Conqueror. I wonder if... And we're not normally that bricked for sources. Like, do we want to bring the Wastegate Battle Mage? There's a thought to doing so. We could do so over the Trinisphere, which is kind of okay. Maybe we do adjust the game plan and bring the Wastegate Battle Mages over the Trinispheres. I mean, we still need a colorless source, so we need a spawn or a talisman for the Wastegate in the first place. I mean, it does get rid of a bombardment, which is relevant. Bounces back a creature, which can be relevant. Maybe. On the play for game 3, we'll keep. I'd love to see a 7-minute value spell off the top for a K command X2. Once down to 6, the K return is nice. We're going to go for Sprawl Red. Especially knowing that they have Blood Moon. We want basics here. Red, pass, and pass. Plains, Pride, draw, Ugin, Imprint, hold, K return. We'll take the 1. And if they want to play nothing, then that's fine by me. Sacred Foundry, Shock. Bombardment and response. Because then we can Wastegate Battle Mage. Yeah, I actually do like Wastegate here more than Trinisphere, I think. So yeah, Wastegate Battle Mage will kick. Bombardment down, passing. I would have liked to have rumbled there, but I think it was right to not. Windswept Teeth, fetching for. Molten Rain would really suck, admittedly. Pyro's fine. We can sweep Pyro if we really need. Pitches 2 lands, wow. Okay. And draw another lab. Rumble. Chrysalis is nice. Talisman is nice. I mean, playing the Talisman 2, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. If we drew into a land Ugin, it's a bit risky though, no? Whereas Chrysalis, we can just follow up. But if they Molten Rain either ways, we're kind of SOL. So yeah, let's go Talisman. Ugin Lab, trigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can sacrifice a spawn and pass. So we're angling for Ugin next turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Windswept Teeth. Clarion Conqueror. That does kind of suck. Because that means our talismans and our spawns are bricked. Yep, we'll pass. So Teeth fetch. Yeah, this is why I think I do need Dismember, because now I need a 7-minute value spell off top. Attack for 2. No. Draw. Damn. I mean, it is a 7-minute value spell, to be fair. However, but I can't cast it because I'm short on mana. Currently have access of 5, so I specifically need a temple here. Either that or another cake command. Bombardment resolves. Take the 3 down to 15. Again, a cake command would do it. A temple would also do it. Draw. Okay, asking you shall receive. So now they actually have an interesting choice here, because they can choose to just ping me, or I can just sweep. Either way, that Clarion Conqueror is leaving the board. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that fact. Actually, that's interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we'll sweep. I'm in a position where I think I can. 1 card in hand. Like, the spawns are doing nothing anyways, right? I guess I should have attacked with the Wastegate first. Yeah, that was a misplay on my part. I should have attacked with the Wastegate first. We'll pass. Orange Chant. I guess Energy's bringing in Orange Chant more, which is interesting. Because that's the second time we've seen that. Land. Fetch. Surveil. No. Cost. Goes Vacuum. That's fine. Draw. Temp. Play Temp. Combat. So next turn we do have the Ugin. Not to mention, we have Lethal on board, and, big and here, Sire 7 Deaths has pseudo hexproof. Yep, opponent scoop step. Alright, we got there. We'll be back for match 5 and the possibility of a trophy. Alright, and we're back for match 5. On the draw for game 1. We'll keep this. We're looking for Utopia Sprawl, a 7-mana value spell. Opal. Opal on 1. Otawara. Passing. Draw. Misty Rainforest. Pass. The pause on end step. Could be Affinity. Scouting Tire. Fetch. Emery. Would again love a 7-mana value spell. Mountain. Is it? Dash to Ragavan. Pause. Do I need a commercial district? I don't need specifically a commercial district. So, you know what? This is fine. Resolves. K-return, fine. Dashed Monkey. There's the Emery. Misty Rain. For commercial district, trigger. Talisman. I do not want to yard. I really do want a 7-mana value spell here. And draw. Damn. In that case, Sprawl. Commercial district for green. Sanctum of Ugin and pass. The good news is they don't have anything in yard to bring back with Emery yet. But I am a bit worried. Saga trigger, fine. Do you dash a monkey? You dash the monkey again. Okay. Attack for 3 down to 14. You make a treasure. What do you hit? A level rumble. I would have liked that. I would have liked that, but you don't play it. Instead you hold. There's two thoughts here. We could hold up the K return, or I could go Karn. I think I hold up the K returns. We're gonna go Temple. We're gonna hold up the K return. You dashed a monkey again. Next we're gonna kick the Mega Spawn of the Saga, so I'm kinda hoping they dashed a monkey. I mean, they have to know we have something at this point. Be in combat. Swing of Emery, sure. We'll take 1 down to 13. End step. I'll set up the K return. So Emery down. Draw. K command. No imprint. Let's check and see if you have a consign main. Saga down. Makes a construct. It's a 3/3. Saga down. No reason to Bajuka Bog right now, right? So instead I think we go E-Temp. That way we can K command if needed for 0. I don't think that's something I want to do, but it's something I could do. 6 cards in hand, one of them's a Ragavan. Tamiyo resolves. Three, Flame. You'll draw 2, which will flip the Tamiyo. Yes. Yeah, Flame plus Tamiyo is really freaking good. Do we want to K command now? That's the question, right? How does Flame read? Is it 5 damage to target creature? Yes. I'm going to K command now. I'm going to scry draw exile while you have no mana. You know you have Ragavan. Done. Draw forest, not what I wanted to see. Bubble. Paying cost for Tamio. Spurific Springs tapped. Ragavan in hand and 1. Draw. Writhing Chris. Ooh, this is an interesting thought, actually. Okay, Command X1 takes out Tamio. It does take out my Sprawl, though, which is a bit oof. So, X equals 1, that's 4, 7. So that'd be 7 mana. So I currently have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 2 would be 6, so I'd be short. That might still be fine, though. Okay, so yes, I think I will Writhing Chris. Trigger. It stops the Tamio from attacking. We know there's the Ragavan. I'll play a Forest. Again, I cannot EE for 1. We can Tormod's Crypt. Ball will target me. Minus Karn. Yes. For Tormod's Crypt. He could alternate Liquid Metal Coating, target Tamio. I think Tormod's Crypt might be better. Alright. And we can set up for the EE on 1 next turn. I want to say this might be VV. Is it VV? Tormod's Crypt, target you. I think not, friend. Attack, trigger. Go to blocks. Block. Before damage. Sack. Trigger. Always yield. There's Ragavan. Galvanic Blast. Rude. Yeah, that's fine. Not ideal. Ragavan. We can clear that. Play the Emery. No? Okay. That was helpful. Drawing bricks all of a sudden. Trigger. Okay, return. Combat. Swing at Tamio. Do not want you on board if I can help it. Play the lab. Pass. And done. 2, draw, 3 in hand, pass. Opal's offline, Amber's offline. 4 mana, passing, draw. Another Karn, go to combat first. Down to 15, lab, trigger, no imprint. Cast Karn. Paying cost. Was expecting the rebuke. Yes. Do you have a second rebuke? Shock Steam Vents to 12. You do. Rude. No. And no. And pass. Mandatory Steel Cut. Amber, that's fine. You have 0 in hand. You can hit me for 2 if you really want. I mean, we can race to the bottom faster than you can. Not to mention, we have some bigger hits off top, I think. Down to 8. Unfortunately, still in range of paying the ward. Triggers. Sanctum. I will say yes. I probably should have tapped that, but it is what it is now. Phone scoops it up, I think. Yep, okay. Yeah, I want to say this is either just Cutter or this is VV. I haven't really paid much attention to the VV list is the problem. Let me take a look. VV... Orniteer. Pretty sure there is a modern deck that's currently being floated. Is it Prowess? Question mark? No. This isn't... Yeah, that hasn't updated yet. I don't think it's posted. So, at the very least, Wasescape in. Dismember in. K-Return out. The Juco box stays. Ghost Quarter stays. Emrakul can go. Chrysalis can go. Just not sure if the Trinisphere is what we need. I didn't see any repeals, so I don't think it's VV. I think it just might be Cutter. Is it Cutter? Alright. And is it Cutter is a bit slow? Like, yeah, sometimes they can just go, you know, Cutter, Bobble, or Opal, whatever. I will keep this, but I think we're okay. Not bringing in Trinisphere. Otawara, Tamio, would love a K command. Draw, Sire, Misty, pass. This way we can go Commercial District. Tamio attack, make a clue. 1 off of Metalcraft. Saga trigger. Amber. You have a decent amount of mana. Fetch. What I would love now is a Wasescape. Trigger. Command. We did ask for a command. Command top. Draw E10. We could rumble. But I think we'll command. Let's see if they crack the clue on end step. They do not. Trigger Saga. Bobble resolves. In response. That's actually really harmful to me. Let's see if they have a Metallic Rebuke. Because we have no... I was not expecting that rebuke. Shit. Well, shit. Because now Saga's locked in on 2. Draw. Temple. Yeah, that was not something I expected. So it's more like Blue Prison that plays Cutter and I don't. that was out of left field moment for sure. Oh. And their Saga tokens are gonna be freaking huge. That Saga will tap for blue. Really interesting interaction with this Saga that just came in. Because the chapter isn't there, but oh, it does have repeal. Oh no. Oh no. So this might be the VV combo. Ooh. Interesting. Pass. And I'm pretty certain I'm dead. But now this raises questions of whether or not we need to bring in Trinosphere. Yeah, how do I want to sideboard for this? I mean, Karn is good in this matchup, no matter how you splice it. That's 8. What? Oh, I gotta make another Saga token, yeah. 9 down to 8. I mean, that's lethal on board. I don't foresee a way getting out of this. Returns Metallic Rebuke. Draw. Forest. Hey, look at that. It's a forest. But I did. Yeah, there's no way because we cast the Microspawn and then they will... Actually, no. Hold on. Cast. Microspawn. Metallic Rebuke? No. Forest. I guess. Metallic Rebuke. No and no. Because, yeah, if I just block 1, I still take 9. Never mind. Neither mind. Concede. Yeah, I shouldn't have even played that. We knew about the Metallic Rebuke. And there's no way they were going to let me cast both of those. Excuse me. Yeah, because Wastegate we definitely want. Dismember we want. Karn we want. We've already trimmed 2. We could bring in a Trinospheres, I suppose. You could bring in the Trinospheres, but we saw there where it's not that great. Yeah, I think we just run it back like this. This is going to feel like Breach all over again, where like they have a really good backup mid-range plan. I am generally a bit concerned about the VV deck, which is basically, in a nutshell, the Jeskai Ascendancy, but utilizing VV and Cauldron. I don't think this is it, but I'm not entirely certain. I'll keep. I'd love to see a Utopia Sprawl off top, a Temple off top, 7 minute value spell off top. We'll pass. I guess actually we should have probably played the Forest untapped in retrospect. Bubble, Opal, Otawara, Tamio, draw, Ugin Lab, Imprint. I mean, we could get rid of Opal here. There is a genuine thought to doing so versus a Dismember. I think Dismember might be right, though. So, Talisman. Talisman. Dismember Tamio. And pass. Yeah, holding the Wastegate back a turn might not be bad for us, because that way if they Saga, repeal. Why repeal that? I guess the draw card? They saw the Scouting Tart on top. They must have been down on lands. So we can time walk them here no matter what they play. Tamio. Yeah, we can just time walk them. Draw card. E-temp. So kick. 2 blue colorless, time lock, and on end step we'll return World Breaker to hand. Steel cut, okay. Opal, steel cut trigger. Yeah, that's fine. 2. I'll take the 2 down to 13. End step, return, World Break at hand. Draw, Karn. Yeah, I mean, the Karn's probably the better cast here, let's be honest. Karn. Minus Karn. I mean, Trinisphere would lock it up, but we don't have enough, so we'll go Liquid Metal. And upkeep. No attacks. Target vents. They have Tamio. They would need to pump it 3 times in order to kill Karn. If they had the Discharge, or the Galvanic Blast, they would have cast that. Emery Trigger, Bobble and Yard, Combat, Draw, Coding, Target Vents. Karn plus. Target Otawara. Can't play Magic if you don't got lands. Pass. Then next turn we just Trinisphere lock them out. Minus Karn Trinisphere and call it a day. One scoops it up. We got there. All right. Good stuff. Definitely didn't see the full extent of this deck. I definitely think this was the VV combo deck, which definitely could have given us a run. But I think we sideboarded correctly there, bringing the Wastegate. So I feel pretty confident in the matchup regardless. That being said, though, that there was a 5-0 at the end of today's league. Karn showing up once again in a lot of good ways. In the matchups where it wasn't as strong, still provided value in game 1. And then, of course, came out in game 2, game 3 where necessary. I do think I do want to maybe change my approach to energy with the Trinispheres and maybe bring in Dismembers. Just the fact that the Clarion Conqueror and the Voice of Victory does outright dodge K-Return makes me think that we do need a way to clear them because they are just super strong when our board is full of talismans and spawns, right? We just kind of sit there looking at it going, well, this sucks. Like, we got super lucky in round 4 with the Eldrazi Temple off the top. We got super lucky. But, yeah, I think maybe Dismember would be right instead of Trinisphere in that situation. Like, maybe a Trinisphere. I think the EE is still fine. The Chalice on the play is still fine. Then maybe cut a couple Trinisphere. Might be right. But either ways, really solid league. I can't think of many misplays that I made. I think against Blink in game 2, not responding to the surveil trigger of the white-blue surveil land, the archives. I think that was probably the major misplay that I can think of off the top of my head. Otherwise, just really, really solid matches, really, really solid games. Even fighting through land destruction, which that was an interesting yet very arduous matchup. But that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It would be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you all learn from me in both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We are getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, at which point I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, which will allow me to save up towards a streaming PC. In the meantime, though, if you do want to support me monetarily, you can do so over my Patreon, where you can get early access to my YouTube videos, as well as any updates I make to my deck guides. And as we are approaching the RC Las Vegas, I will be updating those guides as I start tuning the deck. So any of you also going to any major events in, let's say, October for RC, what was it, Houston? Definitely keep an eye out on that. I'm planning on start probably working that, I'd say sometime this week. I know, a little bit wishy-washy there. Just is a bit hard to set aside the time necessary to really dive into it, but I think I'll start going back to what I used to do, which is dedicating an hour a day to updating the guide, whether that be just in formatting or actually adding additional information. Either ways, though, super happy with the deck. I think it really just comes down to some fine-tuning here and there. Karn, once again, feeling really good, so happy with that. It's good to have Karn back. That's about it. But that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.